welcome back. Now, the Colts playoff bound. They are currently 6-3 and are in second place in the AFC South behind the Houston Texans. Now, I actually think the Colts could make the playoffs. Okay, I really do. I think they could probably go 9-7 at least, possibly 6-10, and I do think they will get a wild card and obviously be the 5th seed. But if Roethlisberger is out for a while, I think the Colts will take control of that fifth seed. And right now, they would play the Denver Broncos in the playoffs if the season ended today. Now, on to basketball. The Lakers have fired their head coach Mike Brown and hired Mike D'Antoni. Under Mike Brown's tenure, the Lakers have started 0-4, and after he was fired, since then they won 2 straight, and when I wrote this script, they were 3-4, so right now I am unaware of their record. So, now, I was actually shocked, and as well as both Phil Jackson and Mike D'Antoni, knowing that the Lakers did not hire Phil Jackson. And guys, I don't know what you're doing here, but why would you pass up Phil Jackson? I mean, he was getting ready to take that job, and he said he was stunned when he found out Mike D'Antoni was hired. Now, Phil Jackson is probably the greatest basketball coach of all time. He won 11 championships. So, yeah, you can make that argument. Why would you pass on Phil Jackson? That just doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I know he's old, and yes, I do know that at his old age that could put stress on him, but he was getting ready to take that job and go back into coaching. So if you have an 11-time NBA champion as a head coach, and you've got a stacked team with Kobe, Dwight Howard, and Steve Nash, you gotta hire Phil Jackson. Okay, Lakers, I don't know what you're doing, and for some reason, I guess I trust your decision, even though I'm not a Laker fan. But if, however this decision works out, it's on you guys. And we have no NHL news other than they're still in a lockout and not close to getting a deal done. Alabama has lost at Texas A&M on Saturday 29-24, and they are now 9-1 and 4th in the BCS standings. And here as how the top 5 goes: Oregon at 10-0, Kansas State 10-0, Notre Dame 10-0, Alabama 9-1, and Georgia at 9-1. Now for Alabama, I think it's good for them that they shook off this loss now. Still, obviously, they will get a bowl game, but as I mentioned for like the 3rd or 4th consecutive week, I'm a Patriots fan. I know what that is like to go into a championship game with a perfect record. Now, could you imagine that pressure mounting on that team to go undefeated? That, okay, if we blow it here, it's going to be talked about for the rest of eternity. Now, everyone remembers as the '07 Patriots being the team that went 18-1. They went for 18 games and have the 19th, but I say, hey, at least we tried to accomplish an incredible thing. Yeah, I know Spygate, week 1 against the Jets. I'm not going to get into that, but if I had to pick one national champion, I would say Oregon right now. But when all the bowl games and national championship stuff comes out, I'll be making my predictions. Now, Sports Illustrated NCAA basketball preview, top 20. We got Indiana, Louisville, Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina State, Michigan, Ohio State, Duke, Florida, UCLA, Syracuse, North Carolina, Michigan State, Missouri, Arizona, San Diego State, Creighton, Memphis, UNLV, and Notre Dame. Now, this one here says that Indiana would win the national championship, and Louisville will at least get to the title game, in which, in my mind, is very possible that could happen. Also, at number 3 and 4, Kansas is ranked ahead of the defending champion Kentucky Wildcats. I see that because in the draft they lost their best player, Anthony Davis, but I do think Kentucky is going to bounce back strong, and Kansas will try to get back to the title game, in which they lost in April. Now, I do think that Kentucky and Kansas will be in the Final Four, but I actually agree with this. I think Louisville can get to the national championship because they went to the Final Four last year, and Indiana was kicked out in the Sweet 16, so right now, I agree with this. My early pick is Indiana beating Louisville. And I think Kentucky is at least going to make a run back at the title game and at least making it to the Final Four. Now, it is time for the question of the day. Who is your early pick for the national championship in April? Indiana, Louisville, who is it? And I'm looking forward to filling out my March Madness bracket when the time comes around. So, Indiana, yes, I have a screwed up printer. By the way, do you like this studio or the one downstairs? That is all I have for you today. America, Canada, Australia, and anyone outside those countries that gives a crap what I'm talking about. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You all know my name is right above my head. I am gonna go right now. Bye bye. Ooh, so close.